Okay, this video is going to show you how to make your big joint house assembly, how to take your parts and assemble them together to look like this. So to do that, we're going to start with a new assembly file. So go to the file, we're going to new, and we want to do assembly, which is an IAM file type. So we're doing a new assembly. To begin with, you need to place all of your parts. So come over here up on the upper left side, go to place. Navigate to where you keep all of your parts. If you like, you can just take each part, hold the shift key down. So I'm going to take part A, part B, I'm going to hold my shift key down, part C. For right now, I'm just going to take those three parts just to show you. I'm going to bring them all in here. You can see they all kind of come in here together. It wants to place multiple parts. Don't worry about that for now, just hit escape. And now I'll also show you could do it just by individually placing your parts as well. So we've done A, B, C. We're going to do part E. So when I open part E, I need two part E's. So I click two part E's right there, and I hit escape. I'm going to go to place my part G, and say open that, part G, and escape. And I'm going to place my dowel rod, I believe is what we have left. So that's part dowel right here. I need two of those. So place, place. Okay, when you have all your parts out there, you can double check over here. I got part A, part B, part C, part E and F, part E and F number 2, part G, and 2 dowels. So I have everything I need to construct it. I'm going to build everything around this part C. So select part C, either here or out here on the model tree. Right click on part C out here on the model tree. Right click, and we're going to ground it. So come all the way down here and click this check mark for ground. By grounding that part, this part can't move. Where all these other parts can move around, this part is constrained. It can't move. And when I look at my part here, here's the front view. Everything is going to go to this. So we have to constrain this to make everything come together. Now I can kind of eyeball where I want to put it, but we really need to constrain it to the different planes. Don't worry about rotating parts, because when we do our constraints, it will rotate. I'm going to use the view cube up here to just kind of get approximate angles. We can also do a free orbit rotation to look at different angles. But I'm going to use this to get the different surfaces that I want to constrain. So we're going to start out with constraining part G. I hit this constrain command under relationships. Okay, and there are three main constraints you're going to work with here. You're going to work mostly with mate constraints. Think of this kind of like glue. Where do you put glue on your object? You always want to constrain 3 dimensions of your object. So we're going to use mate constraints, we'll use flush constraints, and we'll use an insert constraint as well for our dowel rods. So right now I have the flush option turned on, so I'm going to flush my part. I'm going to flush this part to that part, kind of moves it so it's in line with that face, and then hit apply. I will flush this part to that face right there, moves it in line, and I hit apply. Now this part here, if you look, the hole is facing the wrong way. The hole needs to be facing in. So in order to rotate that around, I am going to use the flush command. So I flush this face on part C, and I'll rotate this or spin this and get the back face, and that allows my hole. It looks like I did get the correct face, and it turned around. The hole is upside down, but that's okay. Since we're there, I'll just show you how we flip that around. We want to do a mate constraint on the bottom here. So to flip this over, I'm going to do a mate right there. So change this to mate. The glue is going to go there, and because part C is grounded, it's going to flip my part. So I want to put my glue right here. Okay, and I mated it right there. Now let's take a look at this. There's my hole pointing the correct way. So it flipped my part over, the hole is pointing the correct way, and we flush that. So we're going to hit apply. So this part already has 2 constraints applied on that. I'll just show you that real quick, what that looks like over here. look over here. Here are those two constraints, the flush constraint and the mate constraint. But I can still move this part. I can move it out. It needs a third dimension to constrain against. I need to put glue here, and I need to put glue in there. So that's going to be a mate constraint. Grab your constraint command, grab mate. You're putting glue on this face right here, and where it's touching over here. So this face right there. And so on that face, it's touching right there. Now that part's been constrained in 3 dimensions. The flush, the mate, and the other mate. And now I cannot move this at all. So that's been put in position. We're going to finish flushing all of our parts. So I'm going to do these flush constraints. We're going to flush this part here and that part there. And I'll say apply. And we're going to flush this part here and this part here. And I'll do apply. Now to get this to rotate on the angle, that's going to be a mate constraint. So we're going to look at our part here. We're going to put the glue there on the bottom. You want to think of it that way. We're going to put the glue on the top of this, and it will flip it around. Don't worry that it's not on the end. Hit apply. Okay, and now I want to take this edge, it's a mate constraint, this edge, and make them align. So I'm going to go this edge, and that edge, and boom, and apply. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this far part over here. We're going to do a mate constraint. We're going to mate that surface with the bottom right here of that surface. I'm going to say apply, and we'll flip this around. We want to mate this edge and this edge. Let's say apply, and that will move my pieces into position. Okay, now I have some mate constraints here where we're going to mate this face with this face right here, and I'll say apply. And we do have one more just to show you this part right here. This is moving back and forth this way, so I need to put glue on this edge right here. So constrain, it's a mate. I'm going to mate that face with that face and apply. Okay, now that's locked in. We'll do the same thing with our parts E and F. We have a mate here, and we will flip this over so I'm looking at this angle, this face right here. Hit apply. Again, the same thing. I need to mate in here. I need to get in there. If you turn this off, just so you can see, you pull that out. We don't want it like that. So we want to put glue there. I'm going to constrain this face and this face and say apply. Now remember, we want to constrain our parts in 3 dimensions. Okay, I'm missing a part. I need to bring that in. I forgot to bring in part D, so I come over here to place. Let's see, where is my part D? My part D is right here. Open that up and just bring that in there and kind of eyeball where you want it. Hit escape. You only need one of them. All right, now let's show you the insert constraint. Insert is our 4th option over. Okay, we have 2 solutions here, are opposed and are aligned. Just pay attention. Opposed, the arrows are opposed to each other. That's what I'll use here. I'm going to find my dowel rod. Okay, if I grab the top of this dowel rod, look at where the arrow is, it's going to mate with the arrow that's opposed to it. So I want the inside hole here, not the outside one, but the inside circle. And I do apply over there. We'll do the same thing with the other one on the other side. So turn this around, look at it that way. We're going to take our dowel rod, that to the inside circle over here, hit apply. Now my part has 2 dowels sticking on it. They need to go into the holes over here. So looking at our part this way, we'll do a mate solution again. An insert solution. Okay, I did the inside of that, and I did the outside of the dowel, and it puts it in position. I really don't have to do the other solutions because it created what I needed. However, I do like to also flush this part to part C, just like we did with all the other parts. Hit apply, although the insert is going to drive it to that as long as your dimensions are correct. So that's in position. Since we're not doing any motion work with this. We really don't need any additional constraints, but we can do that if we have to. Okay, so as I was saying, if we don't really have to add any additional constraints, but if I were putting this into motion, I might want to mate constraint with one of these other parts right here. So I can mate this edge with the edge of that part right there and hit apply, or I can mate the faces, but it's not really truly necessary. You have your assembly here, and the last thing I'm going to do is put this into a home position. I want to make sure this is the face that is turning home. If it is not, look at your front face, and this is what it should look like. If your front face doesn't look like this, take this view cube up here and rotate it until you get the appropriate front face. And then come up here to your view cube, right click on that, and set that view, that current view, as the front. Okay, so if yours is not this, go ahead and set that as the front. You can also even go and set your home view too. Your home view would be an isometric view looking from this corner this way. You get your assembly made, go ahead and save it as the big joint house, do a file save, and then we can prepare to set this up on our drawing. Good luck with that.